Good morning, all of you students. Today we are going to start new topic. The name of that topic is pharmaceutical. And you know that pharmaceutical is very important topic as far as human being is concerned. I am not going to talk all the details from the pharmaceuticals, but I am going to talk very few concepts from pharmaceutical. One thing I want to mention you over here, after finishing your BSc chemistry course or MSc organic chemistry or other branches of chemistry, you will have the lot of opportunity to do the job in industry. And majority of the students prefer pharmaceutical industry. And you should know what is actually pharmaceutical industry. Pharmaceutical, it is always at our home. When I show you some drug with me, you can understand. This is the one kind of drug which is called as cetal. This is the one kind of drug which is called as cetal. And this cetal is used for treatment of heat in urinary tract infection. Means it reduces the heat. Another kind of drugs are available at our home. We have with us Mephalin Drugs. And this drug is very important as far as pain is concerned. It is acting as a painkiller. Another kind of drug we have with us that is called as amine TR drugs. And this amine TR drug is useful for curing the cold condition. Whenever person suffering from cold, that is reduced or suppressed or cured by this drug. This is one kind of drug which is called as vitamin E. And you know that this vitamin E is useful for many purposes. One of the use of this is used to relieve the pain whenever we are having that joint pain and another kind of pains. So why I am showing all these things together? Because everybody knows that this drug, it is always at our home for the purpose of curing the different kind of diseases. So students, it is not a new topic to you. It is always known to you. So I want to divert your attention towards the pharmaceuticals. What do you mean by pharmaceutical? Pharma means it is the medicine. Or you can say that pharma means it is the industry where drugs are synthesized. Then you will have the question, what do you mean by drug? Drug is actually, meaning of drug is, it is the chemical substance or chemical compound which can be given to the patient in a small quantity for diagnosis the disease, for the treatment of disease, for the curing of disease. That is called as drugs. Very small concentration of drug is needed to cure or to treat that particular kind of disease. Now when we talk about the actual definition of that disease, you can see this one. In case of pharmaceutical, it is the chemical substance or chemical compound or one kind, or it is also natural product which is used to prevent treat, cure and diagnose the disease of pathological condition of recipient is called as drugs. What do you mean by pathological condition? It is the condition that whenever microorganism enter into the human body, and if it is not useful, means that microorganism is not useful in the human body, it create some disease in the human body. That kind of microorganisms are called as pathogens. So pathogens are disease causing organism. That's finished. Now when we talk about the drug, it is the French word, and that meaning is that drug means dry herb. Whatever we are getting the various kind of dry herbs, generally it is acting as a medicine. So therefore drug, it is nothing but dry herbs. Drug, when it is administered into the body, it helps to restore normalcy. It is said to have curative and therapeutic value. What it means? When drug is given to the patient, it should keep the normalcy of the human being. If drug is provided or given to the patient and that patient physiological condition or mental condition, if they are disturbed, then that kind of drugs are not useful, not beneficial for the human being. Therapeutic uses means it is the application or it is the usefulness of that drug to cure or to treat that particular kind of diseases. When we go for the classification, I am not going to see this part in details. I am going to the next part and very interesting part, and that is called as ideal qualities of drugs, or one can say that properties of drugs. When patient visit to the doctor, doctor provides some medicine, he provides some drugs, and what is the expectation of that drug as far as patient is concerned, what things are considering from that drugs. It means that what different kind of benefits should be obtained from that drugs, that is called as properties of drug or ideal drugs. So ideal drugs, there are 8 properties, so that person should not have any bad impact when that drug is administered into the body. We have the first one, when any drug given to the patient, it should be safe and it should be very effective and it is cheap. It should not be show any harmful effect. It should be efficient to cure that particular kind of disease, and that drug should be very cheap. If it is expensive, then it is not affordable to the person who is suffering from some diseases. So that drug should be very cheap, it should be effective and it should be safe. It means that it should not have any harmful or bad impact on the body. That is, no side effect should be there. So this is the first qualities of ideal drugs. Second one, it is acting as a antimicrobial and it should be selective and be called as effective. Selective means what? When I am having a pain at my finger tip, and if I take any kind of drug to cure that pains occur at the finger, no doubt that will stop. But if another kind of symptom or another kind of pain is occur in the stomach, it should not be effective. It should not work at the proper place. It should work at different place, or that kills one part but it having some bad impact on the other part. So therefore it should be selective and it should be effective. So the purpose for which that drug has given to the patient, that purpose should be satisfied that drug, otherwise it is not selective and not useful. If you look at the next properties of drug, it should be the bactericidal and bacteriostatic. There are two terminology, one is called as bactericidal and another is called as bacteriostatic. Bactericidal and bacteriostatic means one is which kill the harmful microorganism, that is pathogen, it is called as bactericidal, and bacteriostatic means it stop the growth of that pathogen so that disease will be controlled. So drug should have this kind of property. One is bactericidal and second one is called as bacteriostatic. If I go for the next properties of drug, you can observe that it should not induce any kind of resistance. If resistance is created by that particular drug into the body, definitely it is harmful to that patient, because initially stage, if patient takes 10 milligram tablet and if that drug create the resistance in the body, that 10 milligram tablet is not useful to cure that kind of disease. That person or that patient has to take extra more quantity of drug for curing that particular disease. Therefore, it should not create any kind of resistance. So if you want to avoid this kind of symptom resistance, then we should not take, or that patient should not take any single drug for a longer period of time. It should have some 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 7 days, 1 week, like that. It's depend upon the physician or doctor. Doctor will decide which drug is given for what time or for longer purpose. If you go for the next one, it should not retain in the body for longer period of time. It should not retain in the body, means suppose drug is given to that patient, and if it is remain longer period of time in the body, definitely it will affect on the other part of the body. Therefore, it should act immediately and at least for 10 hours, 10 hours to 24 hours, not more than that. If it is purchased or if it is remain in the body for longer period of time, definitely it creates some harmful effect in the body. Therefore, that action of drugs should be a limited period of time. If it is for longer period of time, it creates some problem in the human body. It should be safe for the recipient even if consumed for a longer period of time or even for higher dose. In certain kind of diseases, just like a cancer or another kind of carcinogenic diseases, that patient required a drug for a longer period of time, or even though dose is required for more, and when dose is more, taking period is longer, definitely the side effect of that drug is more. Therefore, we should that drugs should have this kind of good property if it is taken longer period of time or consumed for longer period of time, or even though for higher dose, it should be safe to the patient. Otherwise, that is not a good quality of drug. And if you go for the next one, it should be stable enough to allow attainment of optimum concentration in the body. It means that suppose I am having the headache and I want to take the tablet of 100 milligram, and if I took that 100 milligram tablet and if I am not getting the relief from headache, then it is not useful for the body. It means that whatever I have taken that concentration was very, very small, but if I increase the concentration and took that tablet, definitely I will get the relaxation, or I will get the some free relief from that symptom. Therefore, optimum dose should be needed, just like lunch or dinner. If medicine is taken in the form of lunch or in the form of dinner, that is not optimum use or optimum intake. It means that at least 100 milligram, 10 milligram, 200 milligram, like that quantity of dose should be sufficient to cure that disease. And finally, the final property of this drug, its action should be localized at the site where it should be required to act. It means that already I have mentioned that things, if I am having a pain of headache and if I took the tablet to cure the headache, and if it create a pains in back, definitely that drug is not useful, because that drug stop my headache, but that create the another symptom which I am suffering from that back pain. So it should be active where it is desired to act. And like this, we have seen 8 points of ideal qualities of drug. In the examination or in the interview, definitely interviewer will ask what is the good quality of drug or what is the ideal quality of drug, students. During that time, you should explain each and everything detail. This is not known, unknown to you, it is known to you. Everybody having the 1, 2, 3, 10 like that drugs at home, right from the childhood to the older age person, everybody needs that drugs. And you should study this pharmaceutical topic very detailed, because it is not only for job purpose, or it is not only for career point of view, but it is useful for our health point of view. So we have many more things in the pharmaceutical topic, but for today's lecture we have seen only what is the drugs, or what do you mean by pharmaceutical, what is drug, and then what are the different qualities of ideal drugs or properties of ideal drugs. The next part, which are related to synthesis of some selected drugs and classification of drugs, that part and other part we will discuss to the next lecture. Thank you.